Okay, hopefully the stream's back up. I don't know what's been going on here with the stream, but hopefully you guys can hear me and see me okay. Um just let me know in the comments if everything looks good and we're going to get straight into it. Okay, because right now the market's taking a bit of a dump, bit of a dip right now, and I think it was kind of expected once we saw this rejection point at this key level. I think we could expect a dip, right? Because you can see how many times Bitcoin has rejected at this key level. So many times. Um, it just kind of seemed inevitable that we would have a dip if we were to reject again. Because look at what happened the last few times we rejected at this level. We rejected here at 110, and then we came all the way down to 100. We then went back up to 110. We came all the way down to 98. Now we've gone back up to 110. Where are we going to go to? Okay, and we're going to discuss that topic today, where I believe Bitcoin is probably heading, because I do think we're going to the downside in the short term, and then we're going to go massively to the upside in the midterm. Okay, so it all depends on your time frames. I think the next couple of weeks we probably will see a bit of red here. You're going to see some really good opportunities on altcoins, and I'm going to discuss in this stream the exact altcoins I would be buying in that event. Um, but yeah, we're going to talk about all of that in today's live stream. So smash the likes. Let me know if the stream is running okay. I do apologize for the last stream cutting out. I have no idea why that happened. I've had some issues with the streaming software lately. But yeah, hopefully this version is much better. Um and yeah, we're going to get straight into it, guys. So basically, I am positioned right now. I am positioned in a situation where I can take advantage of a dip. If a dip happens, I can take advantage. Because I've got cash on the side, I've got stables on the side. I am ready to pounce in the event of a dip. Now, a lot of people in this market are massively over consumed, right? They're over allocated, they're over consumed. They've got way too much into the market. And it's times like this where having some stables on the side can be very, very advantageous. Because if we are getting a bit of a dip here down to maybe 105, 102, something like that, then those stables are going to be incredibly, incredibly helpful because you're going to be able to buy up a lot of the fear and not just be one of these guys who's panicking, getting all emotional. You're going to actually be able to buy up the fear. So I have Bitcoin personally coming down probably, maybe to 105. If 105 doesn't hold, then probably 102. If 102 doesn't hold, then 100. And if 100 doesn't hold, then we're probably going back down to the kind of trading range, right? Which you can see we are kind of technically still in. And I thought this was going to be a breakout move initially until obviously I saw us reject here and I realized, yep, this is a rejection. We're probably heading back down. So it's quite unfortunate here that Bitcoin rejected again at 110K, but you can't complain. These are the markets. You either react to it or you just stay kind of staring at the charts, complaining, whinging, when you could have taken action, right? So the way I'm seeing it right now is we're probably getting a good little dip opportunity at the beginning of July, and then we will probably start heading up mid to end of this month, and we'll probably see some all-time highs on Bitcoin heading into the end of this month into August. That's my personal belief because this here looks like it was a fake out. Okay, we had this clear resistance line, we broke above it, and then we've just come straight back down below it now. So it seems like that's just going to be merely a fake out, and that's pretty unfortunate, but that's just the way it is, guys. That's how markets work sometimes. They trick you and they give you fake outs. This weekly candle as well, it's pretty indecisive. It looked like a complete doji candle earlier when I was looking at it, but now it's starting to look more and more bearish by the minute. But you can see the last time we had a kind of indecisive candle on Bitcoin, we had 2 consecutive red candles that brought us down to the kind of range lows of this trading pattern, right? So I'm not trying to get people bearish here. I'm not trying to get people to, I'm not trying to FUD. I'm not trying to get people to sell all their bags or anything like that. All I'm trying to do is tell you how it is. I'm not trying to put the wool over your eyes like most YouTubers out there who simply deceive and, just tell you to keep pumping their bags and, they're just constant moon boys. I'm not like that. I'm going to tell you when times look good and I'm going to tell you when there's potential causes for concern. Again, I want to stress in the short term, I remain very, very macro bullish. But in the short term, I think we have some room for a bit of a correction here. So yeah, we're positioned accordingly right now to pounce if that happens. If we just put some fibs on Bitcoin from this current kind of recent trading area, you can see 102K is a golden pocket. That wouldn't surprise me if we were to come down to 102. And 105, 104K is also very possible on the cards, whatever you want to call it. But someone in my Discord, I think it was Bren, shared a really interesting chart. And I actually don't expect this to happen. I do expect a breakout in July to all-time highs. I want to clarify that. But he shared a chart in the chat, which basically shows the trading range that we are in. I want to try and find this chart here in the Discord. Here we go. So, do you guys remember that long period of consolidation we had for the summer? Was it last year or the year before? Starting to lose count of the years. I think it was last year, right? Yeah, last year. You lose count sometimes. Yeah, so 2024 feels like it was an eternity ago now, but that was literally last year. We went sideways for a very long time, and there was multiple periods where people thought we had a breakout to the upside, but only to be basically exit liquidity. So people thought multiple times, oh, this is a breakout. Then they FOMO'd in, and then the whales just sold and brought us back down. Okay, and it was a clear trading range that we stayed in, for a very, very long period of time. You can draw it however you want, but it's evident this is a big, clear trading range. And that's how this cycle's been all along. This cycle has been a story of sideways for many months, followed by a very quick move up. That's what this story's been. And if you look at this, you can actually see the similarities here. They do look quite similar. These two trading ranges do look quite similar. And I'm not saying we're going to go sideways until August. I don't think we go sideways until, August, September. Personally, I think we break out probably in the next few weeks. But it just seems like it's not time yet for Bitcoin to break out. It's not quite ready for that move to all-time highs. But that's just my opinion. Obviously, I could be wrong here, but that's my opinion. Is we probably see another opportunity to buy some dips, but I would bet that opportunity is the last chance to buy those dips, and then we do go full steam ahead to basically 120, 130K, and that is the bull run. And that seems like it's all playing out kind of how many people expected, right? We top out somewhere around September when the rate cut happens. I think that's a very strong possibility. But obviously, anything can happen. The main thing is that we keep an eye as well on Bitcoin dominance. If Bitcoin dominance goes above the 786 fib level, that would be a potential cause for concern. So as long as Bitcoin dominance stays below that 66% level and Bitcoin stays above the Gaussian channel, which I think it will, we are still in for, another leg up and another alt season. But that Gaussian channel, you can see, is creeping up. At this point in time, I can say Bitcoin could not afford a move down into the 80s. Couldn't afford a move down into the 80s. The lowest we could go is probably the low 90s because of the Gaussian channel placement. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Bitcoin is still macro bullish. There's just a few things in the chart here that's kind of signaling some downside to me in the short term. Like, look at those stochastic RSIs. If I pull them up on the 12-hour, you can see as well, they're highly overextended here. The stochastic RSIs, you can see pretty high. Usually when you get high stochastics like that, you form some sort of reversal, and that's what we're getting right now. So yeah, let's get into the comments. See what you guys are saying. Someone said, this guy's always changing his position. Obviously, if you don't change your position, then you'll be stupid, right? Because the charts are constantly changing. So if you're not adjusting with the charts, then what type of trader are you, right? If you're constantly in a state of bull mode, you're not a very good trader because the charts are constantly adjusting. You know, there's a bunch of YouTubers out there who will just give you a load of drivel. They'll just tell you, "Oh, we're going to $1 million." You know, they'll just tell you we're really bullish all the time. I'm not like those guys. You know, I'm going to tell you if I think that the market's going down for a bit, I'm going to say it. I'm going to come on the stream and I'm going to say it. But I know some of you guys probably want me to be in a constant state of bull mode, just bullish always, but that's just not me. I'm not going to be like that. I'm going to tell you when I think we're going up, when I think we're going down. So, Bruce, you need to learn a lot, man, if you're going to be in crypto. You've got a lot to learn, my friend. Got a lot to learn. People don't understand that, like, markets go up and down. You know, you need to change in alignment with the markets. If there's clear resistance, you know, it's signaling something pretty bearish. If you reject that resistance, it's bearish. So I adjust with the market. I let the market guide me. I don't ride off emotions and where I think we're going. I just judge it all based off what the charts are suggesting to me. The charts determine the outcome for me. And right now, the charts are saying we're going lower, which is a great opportunity to buy. So I'm going to be ready to buy some dips, and I'm going to touch on the coins I would be buying in a moment. We're going to look at some specific altcoin charts, and I'll tell you which ones I would be stacking. No, I wouldn't invest in Supra. I wouldn't put a penny in it right now. They had a really bad launch. Like, look at the chart. Like, look at that chart. It just looks terrible. It looks ridiculous. It's down 97%, and it hasn't even had a bear market yet. Imagine how low this thing's going to go in the bear market. This is what people need to realize. Crypto is extremely volatile. And most coins are scams. Most coins go to zero. How can a coin be down 97% in a bull run? In a bull run, it's down 97%. Imagine how much this thing's going to go down when Bitcoin enters a bear market. Ridiculous. Yeah, Trump signing the bill. Yes, it's positive for asset prices, you could say, but it's not positive for US debt, right? It's not good for people who are buying up US debt. Yeah, but Trump is signing that bill into law today on July 4th, which is Independence Day, right? So that's today. Also, there's going to be some trade deals coming up, but the thing is, everyone's got high hopes. What if the trade deals aren't as good as people expected, right? We could probably come down. So everyone's hoping for great trade deals and really low tariffs. But Trump said some countries are going to get 60% tariffs. He said some will get 20, some will get 10, some will get 60. So it really depends which countries get those tariffs really high and which ones don't. So I don't think we're necessarily fully on track for a major move up now. I think we're going to have a little bit of uncertainty. and then probably we push up later on this month. But again, I want to say it clearly. I still expect July to be bullish overall. I just think we have a potential shakeout here in the coming days, and we're seeing it right now as I'm talking on the stream. Right, we're seeing that come into play literally right now. Thoughts on Metis? It's all right. We need the massive dip to come already. That's the reset pre-run. Yeah, usually big dips, they reset the chart, so it gives you even more room for an upside move. The problem here is this move is exhausted. There's low volume right now, and the RSIs are really high. We just haven't got the momentum to go to 120k right here. I don't think we have. I think we need a little bit of a move down, and then we can potentially tackle that 120k mark. But right now, the market's just not ready for a macro move up. Yeah, there's still a lot of uncertainty, I guess, right, with the tariffs, and markets don't always like uncertainty. Plan to join the Discord after the bull run. Why would you join it after the bull run? Why not join it now during the bull run? I recommend joining it now. You should join in the bear market as well, but there's going to be huge opportunity here in the coming weeks to buy some great dips. So having the Discord is going to be vital when it comes to an exit strategy. You can make money on your own for sure. I'm not saying you can't, but having a group and having someone who's made millions from crypto helping guide you is going to be massively advantageous. So I would just get in the group now, because once Bitcoin hits all-time highs, I'm going to be increasing the price for the group. So I would get in now while it's a pretty good price. Yeah, I've seen groups offer way less than what I do, and their prices are $200 a month, and they offer way less. They don't have daily voice chats. The guy's not in there every day. Like, I'm in this group every day doing voice chats, talking to the members. It's really nonstop for me. Yeah, no harm having some stables on the side until we see a breakout. Yeah, for sure, man. Like, there's still no confirmed breakout here. This was initially some form of a breakout, and then we've come back down. So it was a fake out, right? It was a fake move, basically to lure everyone in to go bullish, and then they just bring us back down. It happens all the time. How many times did that happen back when we were in that 7-month sideways move, right? You can see the fake outs here. Fake out, fake out. This isn't the strongest quality, this image, but you can see, they do fake out moves. It's very common. Sideways for 4 to 7 months? Nah, I don't think we go sideways for that long. But I agree that, like, this cycle more than ever has been prolonged periods of consolidation, followed by very short pumps, but the pumps are very explosive. That's what the story of this cycle has been, and I believe that will continue. This cycle will be remembered as a cycle of boring, prolonged consolidation, followed by extreme moves to the upside. So the coins I'm going to be buying on the dip. First one, Ondo. Guys, Ondo is making big moves right now. They're buying up licensed, like, companies. I think something just came out today regarding Ondo, right? They just bought some SEC approved what was it? I don't know. That just follow the Ondo Twitter. They're posting new things all the time. Ondo partners with Pantera Capital on a 250 million RWA tokenization incentive. That's one thing. Ondo is acquiring Oasis Pro. That's the one. It came out an hour ago. So Ondo is acquiring Oasis Pro, including its SEC registered broker dealer alternative trading system. So they're basically buying up these RWA companies. They're going to be a big, big player in tokenization, guys. Ondo. You saw what just happened with Robinhood. Robinhood just announced they're going to be tokenizing all different types of stocks, including private companies such as SpaceX and OpenAI. They're going to be allowing anyone around the world to basically own these on chain using their own blockchain. So this is really bullish. This is going to spark a major RWA narrative, in my opinion. And Ondo would be one of the coins I would be heavily, heavily buying up if I was to see it back in the 60s again. If I was to see Ondo hit this support level, which it's hit a few times back in the 60s, I would be doubling down on Ondo. You can see the stochastic RSI is really high for Ondo. So, it's probably having a move down. It's probably having some form of a move down in the coming days and weeks, potentially. But yeah, Ethereum's bleeding out more than Bitcoin right now. So maybe we'll get a bit of a tick up in Bitcoin dominance. The key level for me on Bitcoin dominance is that 786 level. If we get a move above that on Bitcoin dominance, I would be a little bit concerned, guys. I've got to be honest with you. If we get a move above that 786 level on Bitcoin dominance, I would be targeting a 73% move on Bitcoin dominance, which would imply altcoins are going to massively bleed out to Bitcoin in the coming months. If that happens, okay? I stand by what I've been saying the past few days and weeks. I expect a rejection at the 786 level. So far, that is still in play. But I just hope that we don't go above that, because if we do, it's not going to be the best for altcoins. So that's something to watch out for. Which coins? So the coins I'd be stacking right now, or not right now, but in a few days, if we get a further shakeout here, would be Ondo. Ondo would be one. I would be watching Say. Say's stochastics actually having a nice reset here. So the bottom might be in for Say pretty soon. So Ondo, Say, and Sui, they would be kind of the blue chips I'd be stacking right now. And then for meme coins, I would be looking at some of the memes on Say. So you've got Millie, which is the #1 dog meme coin on Say. You've got Saiyan token. This is another one. And then I would also probably be looking at Fart coin as well for a meme coin. I think this one's going to make an explosive move to the upside at some point. So that is my current view. Okay. But yeah, Ondo is going to be a big player this cycle, I think. This RWA narrative is going to come back around. It's going to dominate, man. Because that's all they're talking about in the stock market right now is tokenization. But yeah, you can see here Bitcoin's breaking down as expected. As I said earlier today in the VIP, right? I dropped an announcement saying that I think we're going to drop further. So far, we're doing that. Yeah, the RSI is very high despite not a massive move, which just shows that we've got weakening momentum. Can't wait to join your community soon. Thanks for the live streams. Watch your bearish and bullish price prediction on Arrow. Yeah, thank you, man, for the kind words. And I do strongly recommend you get in on that VIP when you can. It's going to be highly beneficial, especially when it comes to exit strategy in the bull run. When it comes to Aerodrome, I think we go. I mean, let me give my bearish scenario, right? My bearish scenario is literally just like a triple top. That would be the bearish scenario, would be like $2.40. That's the bear case. And then bull case, it's pretty bullish, okay? The bull case scenario for Aerodrome is a lot higher than that because I think that there's a good chance base could dominate a large part of the transactions on chain this cycle. I mean, it already has a very high percentage of the transactions, and a lot of the AI agents are on base. A lot of the meme coins are on base. So if base continues the way it's going, then I think Aerodrome could hit above $5. I think it could do like a 7x from here potentially, which is pretty good, right? It could even do higher than that. 7. So bull case 7 to 10x on Arrow, and bear case like 3 to 4x. Anywhere between there, I think Aerodrome can do this cycle. Any thoughts on the recent drama with Cardano, infighting and whatnot? I don't follow Cardano, man. I held Cardano last bull run. I made crazy gains on it, and then I sold it all. So I don't follow it. But yeah, I sold Cardano at the top last cycle. I sold it at $3. I think that was like the exact top, right? I just sold it all when it hit $3. What's it at now? Man, still way lower than what it was last cycle. Yeah, where did it go? Was it $3 or was it just below? Yeah, literally, I remember as soon as I saw it hit $3, I just sold the rest of my Cardano. And I was up like 10x on it. So I made a ton of money on Cardano. Like all my meme coin profits, I just kept funneling into Cardano, and it made me a ton of money last bull run. But now I don't even pay attention to it because it's an old coin. You know, there's not much hype, not much momentum. I've just moved on fully. Like, there's no point wasting my time with coins that aren't going to pump. What would I buy if Casper goes back? Would I buy Casper if it goes back to 5 cents? Maybe. I mean, I'd be increasing my average because my average is 4 cents. So I wouldn't be in a rush to buy it at 5 cents, to be honest, man. Could I look at Say? Yeah, I'll take a quick look at the chart for Say. But smash the likes on the stream, guys. Streaming today on a Friday when markets are closed in the US. So please do smash the likes. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I've had this chart open like this for Say for quite a while now, since it made this top at the end of June. It could come back down to that 0.5 level. So if I was wanting to buy Say, I would get a buy order in at 247. $2,479, I get a buy order in. You can see it actually hit that level a couple times. So if I wanted to stack some Say, I would get a buy order in at 2,479. I'd also get a buy order in at 0.22. It might not even go to that, but it's always worth just having one in there just in case it goes to the golden pocket. Because quite often, quality projects, when they find that area to retrace to, quite often it's the golden pocket. And it's usually like a very quick drop down followed by a very quick bounce. So if you're sleeping or you're not paying attention, quite often you'll miss that great opportunity. So I recommend probably having some limit orders in there. Yeah, Tau will do great. Yeah, this recent move on Bitcoin was a clear fake out, right? Clear fake out. Trying to lure all the retail in, thinking it's a major breakout. only to then get dumped on again because it's just not ready yet. It's just not time. It will be time eventually, right? We will get above 110 eventually, and we'll go straight into bull mode, and dominance will drop a ton. We'll make a ton of money, and we can all, you know, enjoy the fruits of our labor. But right now, the market's showing signs of reversal to me to the downside in the short term. Again, I want to really, really emphasize the short term. I'm not saying we're going to go down and the cycle's over. I'm saying short term. Useless coin. People in the VIP, they made crazy gains on useless coin. I know the DGens got into that one. Am I bullish on Say and Millie? Yeah, I'm bullish on those. Bullish on those. Millie's a great DGen play on Say. Yeah, I agree with those. If Bitcoin goes near 100K, buy Tau, Casper, Sui, Ondo, and Virtuals. Yeah, I agree with that. And guys, I'll also be buying some new coins on this dip as well. So once Bitcoin finds its local bottom and we're ready to go back up, I'm going to be dropping some buy alerts on some new DGen plays because I'm going to be ready to go risk on. I'm telling you, I'm going to be going risk on. Once the time is right, which it isn't just yet, it could be in a couple of weeks. Once the time is right, I'm going to be going risk on and I'm going to be buying some DGen meme coins. We made a ton of money on Cyan. Okay, we made a really nice 4 or 5x on that in just a week. We'll be making way more gains than that in the coming weeks. But it's all about entry points, right? A lot of retail, they just FOMO in, they jump in, and quite often they're buying local tops. I'm patient. I wait for the fear, and then I buy. So I've got some cash on the side, and I'm going to be willing to jump in once we get a nice little flush out. And that what people need to realize is you can go sideways and sideways and sideways for months and months and months, and then eventually you have 3 weeks of a pump, and that makes up for all the months of sideways action. 2 weeks of a pump can do it. People really need to realize that, because I'm sick of people thinking that just because we go sideways means we're not going to have a bull run. Really, all it means is when we have that move, it's going to be even more explosive because we went sideways for so long. The explosiveness, if that's a word, will be even bigger, right? The explosion will be even bigger because of that sideways movement and all that boredom. Exactly like what happened last summer when we went sideways for ages. We then had an explosion and it was very, very powerful, right? So I expect a bit more consolidation in this range, and then probably some point this month, maybe in a week, maybe in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we have a big move up. I personally don't think we have a 2026 bull run just because that is cyclically incoherent. It doesn't line up with Bitcoin's usual cycle. I think by that point as well, the stock market would have gone so high it will need a correction. It will need a drawdown. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the market does with these trade deals, how it reacts. Good morning, Archie and crew. You need the guidance, that's for sure. Absolutely, man. That's the big benefit of the VIP. You get constant daily guidance by myself and all of my moderators who are also really good at what they do. How is ETH looking? Yeah, Ethereum's also looking a bit weak. Last time Bitcoin was at 110K, Ethereum was up here, right? At 2.8. So this is how you know Ethereum right now is quite weak, because the last time Bitcoin was at 110, Ethereum was up here, okay? Bitcoin just hit 110K last night. Ethereum's down here, so it's weakened. Bitcoin hit the same level it was at a few weeks back, and in that time, Ethereum has reached a lower level. So Ethereum can't catch up to Bitcoin. You know, Ethereum should be around 2.7, 2.8 now, based on, or it should have gone there based on what Bitcoin did. But it just didn't show the strength compared to Bitcoin. Also, really high stochastic RSI on the daily, probably going to come down a bit lower. On ETH, right? Yeah. Ethereum is probably coming down to maybe 2.2, 2.3K, somewhere like that, maybe. I mean, it might not go that low, right? It might just go down to 2.4, but it does look pretty weak, gotta say. Short term again. Yeah, Ondo and Plume are both good. I prefer Ondo because of the backers, but they're both solid. Yeah, there's sell alerts as well. I dropped some sell alerts today, actually, in the Discord earlier on today, because I expected us to come down, and Bitcoin's dumped since I dropped those alerts. So yeah, I drop sell alerts whenever I sell a coin. I drop those alerts. I'm very transparent with that. A lot of other YouTubers and other groups, they only tell you when they buy. They don't tell you when they sell, and quite often they sell on you. They dump on you. There's been countless, examples of that lately. So I tell people when I buy and I tell people when I sell. I'm super transparent about that. Do I believe in the super cycle theory? No, I don't. I think that's a whole load of hogwash. It's to try and lure retail in to get them wrecked. I don't believe in that. They said the exact same thing last cycle and we went to 69K. All these big guys, they were all promising everyone 200K, 300K, and BTC topped out at 69. So it's going to be the same this cycle. Everyone's going to be promising 200, 300, 400K. Maybe we only go to 130, right? Maybe 120. But the point is, you can make a ton of money in that move from Bitcoin going from where we are now to 120. If dominance drops during that move, there will be crazy gains made in altcoins, especially if you know what you're doing. Can I analyze others? Yeah, where are all the Blaze fanboys at now, man? Where have they all gone? They were so happy the other day in my live stream telling me that it's going to be the next big thing. Where have they all gone now? Oh yeah, it rugged. That's where they went. It rugged, and they've gone because of that. Nowhere to be seen. Others chart just still kind of weak, man. Not showing any signs yet of a major move up. Let's see where it'd be at fib wise. Yeah, so it came down to the 786 during the recent dump. Let's see where it goes now, whether it can hold the golden pocket or whether it will come back down to the 786. What do I think about Bitcoin dominance? I think it's really, really key that we stay below 66%. If we close the week above 66%, then alt season is at big risk. If we stay below 66%, then I think we get an alt season. So it's really make or break for Bitcoin dominance here. You can see as well, the last time Bitcoin dominance hit a fib level, look how much we dropped. See? That was when we had that massive November Trump rally, was when Bitcoin dominance dropped. I'm like 90% confident we get a tamed alt season, and I'm like 20% confident that we get a full-on crazy alt season. I think most likely it's more of a tamed form of an alt season. So not as good as what we saw last bull run, but it will be still very good. Yeah, where are all the Blaze fanboys? I hear Blaze is on a discount. Bro, I literally put a tweet out about Blaze and some guy replied telling me that Blaze was on a dip and it's going to go higher. He said, buy the dip, we're going to go higher. Let me find this tweet. This is the clearest rug. Like, I mean, technically it wasn't a rug, right? Because they didn't pull the liquidity. So it's not a technical rug, but basically the biggest wallets just dumped the whole supply. And then you wonder who those wallets were, right? But yeah, you can see, right, this this ratio. The ratio on these comments, right? So this guy said, nah, because it's going back up. So he thinks Blaze is going to go back up. I put, you got rugged, just move on, you know? Like, just move on. You got rugged, just get over it. Move on. On to the next one. I mean, this was the most obvious scam coin I've ever seen in my life. I wish I could have shorted this thing. Because I would have made a massive short here. I would have opened a massive short and I would be probably a billionaire now if I did that on 100x leverage. Imagine. How could you fall for that? The thing had no exchange listings, right? I saw a clip of Archetype on YouTube saying it's going to get on Coinbase. It's going to get all these listings. The thing didn't even have a single listing. Like, let's just pull up the listings for this. Someone sent me a clip in my Discord of Archetype saying, oh, it's going to be on all these big listings. It's like Bonk. How is it like Bonk? It's got no listings. It's not even on MEXC. It's not even on Gate.io. Let alone Binance, Coinbase, any of those. How is it going to be like Bonk? Like, when I buy a meme coin, I just say, yeah, this thing it's a shit coin. You know, it's 50-50. Maybe 100x's, maybe it goes to 0. I'm transparent about it. And I don't say it's going to be the next Bonk if it's not, right? And I don't promise a Coinbase listing if there's no evidence for that. So, man, people are mad. People are mad at this. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. Promises of tier 1 listings and everything. I mean, look at that rug. What market cap? This went to a $22 million market cap. And then literally, like, overnight, it was sat below $1 million. It went down 22x overnight. And people are dumb enough to say buy the dip. I could hit my head on a wall 1,000 times and still not be that stupid to think that buying a dip on a coin like this is smart. Some people are just brain dead, man. But I know you're joking, so I'm obviously I'm aware of that. But some people actually, Frank, some people actually think that it's a good dip opportunity. People are that stupid, some people, to think that it's a good dip opportunity after a rug, basically. But I know you're joking, obviously. What is the Market Oracle Pro Plus indicator? You rate it? Yeah, it's pretty good. I use it. There's a link in the description to it if you're interested. But yeah, it's pretty good. I know the guys who made it, so they gave it me for free, you know, complimentary. I'm friends with the owner of Chart Prime, who create the indicators. So he gave me the indicators for free, and I've got a little link in the description that you can use to purchase it if you want. But yeah, they're really good indicators. Shiba Inu brother is back. Man, there's so many Shiba Inu brothers, sisters, uncles, second cousins, dogs, cats, frogs, turtles. Like, how many freaking Shiba Inu family members are there? Yeah, man. I used to be on good terms actually with like this is years ago, right? With Crypto John and Archetype. They used to actually be decent guys, like years ago. And then all of a sudden they just switched. I don't know what it was, like the money maybe just got to their head or something. They just switched, man, and they switched big time. They turned completely different. Sometimes, you know, the money goes to people's heads. It really does. Well, my thoughts on Swell. It's on Coinbase low market cap and it's an ETH layer 2. Let's take a quick look. Sounds interesting. Swell network. Okay, so it's had a pretty sizable sell-off. During the pump in May, didn't really do much. But it is on Coinbase, which is good. Decentralized, non-custodial liquid staking protocol. Okay, so it's a pretty niche project. Pretty niche project, I think. It looks decent. I mean, it ticks the boxes. I'd have to have a deep dive into the team, into, you know, all the stuff behind it, the chain metrics and all of that. The TVL is 112 million. That's pretty good considering the market cap, if that's true. This looks decent, man. Just the chart, it's just a constant dump. We've seen this so many times, and quite often they just continue dumping, man. It looks like the chart of peak, and I'm a holder in peak, but sometimes I wish I wasn't. Yeah, just kind of lacking structure to the chart. Just a weird one, man. It's almost like there's insiders selling or something. I don't know, but it's just constant dumps. So I'd be a bit cautious of the chart until it starts to gain some clear structure. Are you still holding Ponky? Yes, I am. I still hold Ponky. Yeah, there's so many Shiba memes. I wish some of your streams you address moves for people without thousands to throw out the markets. I do, bro. I talk about low caps as well. I don't just talk about high caps on the channel. Like, I've been talking about the meme coins on Say as a great opportunity to make some money. Millie is one, and Saya. And I've been talking about some degen plays. They're just really risky. And I don't necessarily think like right now is the best time to go super risk on. Like I said earlier, there will be a time where I go risk on, but I don't necessarily think right now is the time to go mega risk on, personally. But it will come, you know, maybe in a week, maybe in 3 weeks, whenever it is, there will be a time to go risk on again. It's just not right now. Yeah, rugging their audience on Blaze and Matt Fury memes. Yeah, man. How many different Matt Fury memes were there as well? Do you remember there was like Flappy, Draggy, Pappy, Crappy, all these different rhyming Matt Fury characters, man. So stupid. Just stick to the boys club. Don't buy these stupid. Let's take a look at some of these. I'm actually curious how low they went. Wat. Do you remember that one? Who would buy a coin called Wat? Like, what a stupid name. Wat. Like, it's the worst name ever for a coin. 25 million market cap, man. This is at 300k now. And people wonder why I always say only have 1% or less of your portfolio in memes. You know, people wonder, Archie, why do you recommend such a low percentage in meme coins? This is why. Because this is what happens to meme coins over any given time. They have their pump and then they just dump really hard. And if you don't get out, you're going to be rugged on, basically. What was the other one? Draggy. 400k market cap now on Draggy. Another one that's basically rugged. Flappy. Bro, these names are so stupid. Flappy's even worse. Wow. 100k market cap. Another rug. Was that all of them? Can anyone remember any others? Man, Blast is pumping today. That's weird. This is a layer 2 on Ethereum as well. This thing's been dumping the whole cycle, so it's weird to see it pumping today. Do you still believe Bitcoin will make the peak in July as alluded earlier? Yeah, I do. I still believe we'll make an all-time high in July. I think we'll hit potentially 115 this month. I still do. I still think we'll hit 115k this month. I just think we have a quick little bleed out here, maybe to 105, and then we bounce up again. So I'm gonna kind of have some buys coming in around 105k for altcoins. This region. Have some buys coming in for altcoins around that level. And obviously those are all going to be posted in the Discord, right? Which you can gain access to in the VIP. So I'm going to have some good buys coming in there for some altcoins. Yeah, Hoppy's all right, though. Hoppy is one which didn't necessarily rug. I still think it crashed really hard, but it wasn't an out-and-out rug, right? Yeah, Hoppy is still fine. Hoppy's 9 million market cap. Still down over 10x, though, from its all-time high. Yeah, man. Weird day, though, man. Weird day. Everyone thought today would be bullish, and we've just been scammed by the market makers, basically. But yeah, I could see this coming. Once I saw this triple top, or whatever you want to call it here, this rejection again at 110, I just started to get a bit concerned. And you would have actually gotten an alert on this in advance in the Discord. Let me pull it up. Chart. Let me find it. Yeah, so in the chart alerts channel. Apologies for it being so zoomed in. There we go. Yeah, so you can see here, right? At 4 a.m., when we're at 109.3K, 4 a.m., okay? Cryptex never sleeps. He's always online, giving people updates in the chart channel. Cryptex put out a post to the entire VIP group saying, another quick update on my thoughts on Bitcoin. He says, another rejection is more likely. High stochastic RSI. I agree with that. And a reversal signal on the prime oscillator. You can get that indicator in the description down below. Right now, things are still quite boring and sideways, and it's because of this range. Yep, so you can see the clear trading range that we're in. Clear support, clear resistance. A break above the channel would likely correlate with the breakout. We still haven't had a break above the channel yet. So you would have gotten this alert here at 4 a.m. and you could have decided to de-risk a little bit if you wanted, right? Out of some of your altcoins, because the technical analyst went and put an alert out. And this guy's spot on, guys. He is an absolute genius, Cryptex. He's an absolute high IQ genius individual. He's way better at the charts than I am. So highly recommend you get in just because of him. I mean, he could be charging thousands of dollars for his knowledge anyway, right? And one thing you can get, right, if you are interested in the TA side of things, is you can get an entire educational class on technical analysis in 6 days' time, okay? In 6 days' time, the 10th of July, Cryptex himself is going to be going on a mentor meeting with all the mentor tier members, and he's going to do a thorough technical analysis class. He's going to go over support resistance, Fibonacci's, trend lines, patterns, top signals for Bitcoin, exit strategy for altcoins. He's going to go through the whole lot. He's going to go through everything. It's going to be a long one, but it's going to be a very educational one. And it's going to also be recorded. So it's a recorded educational tutoring class, essentially, on technical analysis by Cryptex. And I'm going to be there as well. And you can have the chance to ask any questions you've got towards him. And you can gain access to this by being on the mentor tier or on the bundle. Both of those give you access to the mentor meetings, which are extremely valuable. We have them every couple of weeks. It's a more formal meeting, right? On the VIP, we have voice chats, but they're more informal. Whereas the mentor meetings are very formal. We all come on the, on the Zoom meeting, basically. And we have a very clear topic for discussion. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be amazing. Bird Dog. What a stupid name. Bird Dog. Oh, man. Bird Dog. I remember when that one was getting hyped up. What happened to that? Bird Dog. People still buy this? Oh, man. It's been out for a year. It's still got no exchange listings. Tell me you've got a broke team without telling me you've got a broke team. What do you think of guys who create free Telegram groups giving out buy alerts on memes under 100K? I used to like this guy, but after this boring sideways, I think he's milking his followers now. Which YouTuber is that, bro? Who's doing that? Below 100K, yeah, that's pretty degen. Yeah, Matt Fury memes are dead. I agree with that. How do we know it's an alt season? Because you see Bitcoin dominance dropping and you see altcoins drastically outperforming Bitcoin. There's no set rule on how much it has to drop or how big of a pump altcoins need to have. Okay. Alt season is just a prolonged period of time where altcoins are performing better than Bitcoin. So that's why I'm saying I do think we'll have an alt season, but I don't think it's going to be like last time. I don't think it's going to be an alt season like 2021. But that doesn't mean you won't make money. You will still make great money if you're positioned accordingly, but it's going to be harder than ever to be positioned accordingly because institutions are involved now and it's us versus them. So that's why a group like my own comes into play, right? It comes in very handy if you've got a group that know what they're doing and they're all coordinated with a clear purpose. Then it's a huge advantage. Thoughts on SPX? I like SPX. I was very impressed with the bounce back that it did. I like the cult following it's got. But would I buy it here? Probably not, okay? Probably not. Let's see. Let's go from the lows to the highs. So I personally, I'm just saying this myself, I wouldn't buy SPX above $1. I would consider buying it down here at 80 cents. I just wouldn't buy it above $1 personally. But that's just me. I'm quite picky when it comes to entries. Yeah, Brett is a Matt Fury, but it's not. Brett is the boys club. So I'm bullish on the boys club, but I'm not bullish on the Night Riders, or whatever the hell they're called. You've got the boys club, which is Pepe, Brett, Landwolf, and Andy. I think those will be fine, especially Pepe and Brett. But all these other ones, I'm not bullish on those other ones, like Flappy, Draggy, Watts. I'm not a big fan of those. Are you bullish on AI agents? I am. But the only AI agent coin I hold is virtuals because I got a great entry on virtuals. Like even now, despite this dump, I'm still up 3x on virtuals because of my entry being down here. So guys, that is like why entry is so freaking important, because you can still be up multiple X's even after a correction. And what it also means is I don't need to go really degen and buy these crappy tiny little AI agent coins. I can just stick with the big one, right? I can just stick with virtuals. I don't need to go for those degen hit or miss microcaps because I've got the number one AI agent play and I've got it at a really, really good entry, which no one else really has an entry that good on unless you bought it when it launched, right? So very, very impressive, my ability to get that bottom on virtuals. It was an amazing buy by myself. But guys, we're going to wrap up the stream here. I appreciate you all tuning in. It was a bit of a chill stream today. Please hit the likes if you enjoyed. Yeah, it was a bit more of a chill stream today. Not a lot going on, but I did want to get it off my chest that I think we are probably going a little bit lower in the short term before we then take off later on this month, guys. I'll see you all over in the Discord group. I'm going to be active in the Discord group over the weekend. I might not upload a stream tomorrow, guys, because it is Saturday. It will be the weekend, so I might just be in the Discord doing a voice chat with those guys. So if you want to hear from me, then obviously get yourselves in the Discord, which you can join by getting in the VIP. And I'll see you all over that for lots of discussions over the weekend, guys. Have a great rest of your Friday. If you're an American, have a great 4th of July. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.